Hey guys, James here, and I am now using OBS and its webcam feature to record. Maybe soon enough I'll just buy a fucking webcam. But this is another one where I'm a little late to the prediction here. I'm tardy to the party again. I'm setting all this up still. But next death battle, Dante from Devil May Cry versus Clive from Final Fantasy. I kind of forgot to do a prediction for this. I meant to do this, like, sooner than I actually am. I just forgot, and I got really busy with shit. So, like, I work at a Spirit Halloween. Right now, this is the week of October. It's been a busy month, as you could probably guess, for Halloween. So, yeah, I haven't really had a lot of free time, and the free time I have been, I've just been hooked on Pokemon Legends ZA. So that's kind of just what I've been doing. And I kind of just forgot completely about this. There's also, like, the amino going down, and I tend to use that to refer back to whatever the hell I talk about. Because I always make the amino post first, and then I use a second tab. Just kind of open that and talk about it from there. But I tested it, hopefully, because this is using my base webcam. Hopefully it will not be out of sync, the audio. But, Dante Clive. I don't know. I don't really, I don't have much thoughts on this one. Cause, I mean, cool, Dante's returning. Like, Kratos probably was the one I preferred for him for at least the longest time. I kind of fell off the matchup. But, obviously that wasn't going to happen. And this is also a real shit year for, Dante versus Kratos fans. Because, both of them returned with completely different matchups. And I also just, I've heard of Clive before, but I don't really know a thing about him. And then when I went to go look for stuff about him, I found out that Final Fantasy 16, very under-researched. There wasn't even a fucking Versus Wiki page for it. There was a Fred, which is where I'm going to pull a lot of the stuff for Clive, stat-wise, for him. But, yeah, I was not finding a single page. Well, there was a page, it was more so a blog post replica of a page, but it had no sources at all. To back, like, okay, this power level and then this power level and yada 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 yada. So, yeah. And I'm gonna get this one out of the way, like, instantly. This is like this is like Buffy Blade. This is easily one of the ones where my prediction could be totally way off the fucking mark for, like, what there actually is. I don't really know much about Final Fantasy 16. There's not a lot to go off for Final Fantasy 16. It's not a super well-researched thing. So, the stats I'm pulling is entirely from a Fred. So, when the fucking blog and episode comes out, who knows, they might have found something buck wild for Clive, but, keep that in mind when talking about this. This is like with Buffy, with the novels that just have never been researched before. This is just a case where not a lot of shit's been researched, and I don't really care enough to go and scourge through the original source material for this. Because, like, the debate's secondhand. But, the matchup itself, I think, is, like, it's okay. When I was first looking at it, I was like, it's kind of meh. The dynamic definitely seems really cool for it, but the connections kind of seemed whatever, but then the connections got updated on the Death Battle Wiki. I'm like, okay, no, this makes it this is a bit better. Not anything I'm, like, crazy about, but it seems fine. We know that this is, in fact, the Torian episode from the Kickstarter, and it's also going to have some other older Death Valley animators, or at least, like, ones that are normal, you know, Devil Artemis, or normal, David Fishker, or normal, Luis. Not them. It's not them in this, from what I could tell. But, it does have Torian. There has been another animator confirmed for it. I don't remember who it was. Let me see if I could double check, actually, real quick. I have, like, a couple pages open right now for this. I just have to pull up the fucking, the actual thing real quick. It has to load, too. But, Joe Vick, that's another animator that I guess has been confirmed. I don't know the source of this, but, he did Red vs. Blue and Blake vs. Mikasa, so take that for what you will. He's one of the older RT animators, from what I could tell. Or at least one that's been on Ruby. And I think they did say a couple of the animators that were on this were on Ruby. So that's pretty cool. That's honestly pretty dope. Funny it's not the Ruby episode they were on. But, yeah, for the matchup itself, it seems fine. I'm mostly excited for, like, the animation, as well as the music. I accidentally tapped my mic there, but I'm excited for those, really, because from what I can tell, they both have a lot to play off each other. And the music for Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy 16 sound really good. So I'm excited to hear the track for it, too. I imagine it's going to be a vocal one. I'm also excited to see Dante return. He hasn't had an episode in, like, fucking almost 10 years now, actually. That was, like, 2016. Jesus. And hey, a Final Fantasy rep that isn't 7. A lot of people were clamoring for that. I think a lot of people saw it would probably be, like, Rayquaza versus Bahamut, a Loki, not Loki, a fucking, Kefka matchup, or Shulk Lightning. I don't think anyone really expected this. And, sure, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really have as much grievance about that. I'm not a Final Fantasy guy, so that's your reason why I didn't really care that much. We haven't had a Final Fantasy rep outside of 7. So, yeah. But a lot of people are happy about that, and you know what? I'll let them be happy. I have no reason to take that away from them. And also, Devil May Cry. I always thought that, like, Nero versus Hellboy would have been the Devil May Cry, like, the series, the matchup to bring back Devil May Cry. The episode to bring the series back. Because, like, that seems like the biggest Devil May Cry episode, or matchup, that they just haven't done yet. At least generally most popular. Because, like, Dante was one, like, I would like to see him back. It was just, like, Bayonetta is really the only thing I'm, like, super crazy for. Because, like, yeah, Kratos was the one I wanted to return for. But, Bayonetta was my favorite. And regardless of what you think of the outcome, it's probably wrong. I don't give a shit. I don't see them topping the animation for that one. Like, you could probably have, like, better looking animation than, like, a 2016 versus animation made on a Screw Attack budget. But, like, general anime, like, the overall fight quality, I don't really think you'll top for a rematch with that, so I'm okay with that not ever really getting a rematch. But, that was, like, the only match I really liked for Dante. And Clive is just, it seems fine. It's definitely, like, the most left-field matchup this this year, really. Because I did not see anyone ever guess that. Like, that's up there with Spider-Man Deku, and, like, holy shit, I did not expect that at all. And, like, yeah, I'll take a surprise. A lot of this had been predictable, because it's either been matchups we know about, or, super fucking obvious, like Blade Buffy and, Among Guys, Joker, those were all, like, super obvious. Or, it was, like, a very easy guess to make. Oh, this was not an easy guess at all, so I'm surprised by it. Anyways, things, I gotta take a drink of water. Things I'd like to see from the fight. For the setup, I don't really know what you would do to get it work, or to get the setup. I'm sure you could probably get it naturally. But, these two just have a lot of shit you can have bounce off each other, and that's really what I want to see from this fight. Just them utilizing a lot of their equipment, kind of like Dante versus Bayonetta. And, like, this is Torian working on it, so who knows, maybe. Maybe he'll go rogue again and add another 3 minutes to this fight. We got Trish coming in, and then someone on Clive's side. I don't know. They come in, add another 3 minutes to the fucking fight. That would be sick. That won't happen, but that would be sick. But I don't really know what the setup could be for this one. As for, like, the stuff in the fight, I mean, like, they got a whole lot of shit to work with. Maybe, like, start with a sword fight. You know, it's Dante using, like, Rebellion, and Clive using Invictus at the start. You know, shit like that. And then, you know, like, as the fight goes on, I definitely want them to go more into, like, the different weapons they have. Or, well, Dante more so weapons. You know, like, there's guns, there's different swords, the more unique type of weapons. Like, Navon, Angie and Rudra, Pandora, Lucifer, shit like that, Gilgamesh. And then Clive, you know, using the different... So, okay, I should probably mention this now, because I had actively go and look for this and ask some Final Fantasy people for this. From what I could tell, Clive's thing is he absorbs fucking... Yeah, I think it's absorb. Yeah, he absorbs the power of other Final Fantasy guys. Econs, I think they're Econs, or they have a name written down for them. I probably do somewhere. I don't know. But he has like a bunch of elemental attacks. Lightning, fire, wind, shit like that. He has like a bunch of fire attacks, bunch of lightning attacks, air-based attacks. What else? He has a whole bunch of shit. Like, he generally has a lot of different abilities and techniques and shit. Ice, whole lot of stuff. Just like fucking super strength in general. And I mainly just want to see a lot of that bouncing back and forth. There's another one where, like, probably the fight is going to be a very short section. Because really, what more can I say? These aren't really ones I'm super familiar with their arsenals. I just know they have a lot of shit. And you can probably have a lot of it bounce off each other, like, super well. You know, like, shit like, what the hell, where is it called? He has, like, Gauntlet. Like, the is that boots or... I don't know, but, like, I'm pretty sure... Oh, is it Gilgamesh? Okay, yeah, the Gilgamesh gauntlets from Dante going up against, like, the super strength Clive gets from Titan. You know, shit like that for, like, really, like, very impactful fist fighting, stuff like that. I'm sorry, it's not very entertaining. But, you know, like, firepower against actual fire. You know, Dante, like, fucking maneuvering from lightning. A lot of air-based shit. You know, gunfight. There's a lot of cool shit you could do. This ain't scripted. You know this. But, yeah, that's kind of what I really got. You know, ice powers. You know, you could have, like, the Quicksilver, the duplication, or doppelganger, that's what it's called, from Dante. And then Clive counteracts it with, you know, like the ice or the lightning. You know, like a big ass AO. Well, not maybe the time shit, but like the doppelganger just AOE that shit to counter it. He does a couple of moves like that. I think he has like some lightning and fire based ones like that. Excuse me, just stuff like that. And then like building up to the climax of the fight, Dante goes is either Devil Trigger or the Sin Devil Trigger, which from what I can tell is enhanced version of Devil Trigger. Wow, who would have guessed? And Clive does like the Ultima Akon form or whatever, or the Limit Break. You know, go Limit Break. I don't know if Limit Break, like he does all these spell things from Limit Break or not. Go super forms and then just go ham, and maybe you can recreate that final fight again. I did actually watch the cutscenes for this, but the final fight between Ultima and Clive, not Godzilla Ultima, I guess the big baddie in Final Fantasy 16 is called Ultima. So, 2 Ultimas this year. Wow. But, like, throughout that fight, I fucking tapped the mic against my laptop, I'm sorry. Anyways, the fight, like, that big fight has Clive using, like, all the powers of the different Echions or whatever the fuck that he got throughout the game. So maybe you could have Clive trying to like really like bombarding Dante with all of these, like building up to the climax of the fight. Ifrit, Phoenix, Guardia, Ramu, Titan, Bahamut, Shiva, Odin, Leviathan, you know, all these different abilities, and Dante has to like fucking counteract each of them back to back to back. With shit like Cerberus, Pandora, fucking, what else does he have? Beowulf, the Cavalier, Balrog, you know, stuff like that, and, you know, his other abilities, like Gunslingers, Trickster, Royal Guard, shit like that. It'd be really funny if they could work into Dr. Frost's hat. I don't know what it does. From what I can tell, it just forces people into dance. At least with memory serves from what I read. I just want the hat in there. I saw the clip of the cutscene of Dante dancing with the hat. It's fucking awesome. I need to play Devil May Cry. It's on my list. Like, the first Devil May Cry is on my list of games to play. I really got to get to it at some point. I really do. It looks awesome. I really want to get to 5 as well. Holy shit. Anyways, let's shit like that. Like you got like Dante have to counteract all these different things until leading up to like the big final attack of I have it written here. Of like Echion powers and rapid detection, all that shit. With like Ifrit being the last one as Dante and Clive collide with their full strength. If Dante wins, you can have him just like barely make it through the onslaught thanks to his healing factor and get the opening to impale Clive with his sword before splitting Clive in half. And if Clive wins, the onslaught leads him to impaling Dante with his sword before punching Dante with 999,999 damage, which is a reference to the final boss, with the impact destroying Dante's body. I don't know. Again, I don't really know what to expect from this. This is going back to like the season 8 and 9 ones, where I kind of this is all tangled, so it just keeps hitting the fucking mic. We're going back to that era where, like, I have a vague understanding on these characters, and I'm recording this, like, days apart from when I actually write the predictions, because I'm actually a busy human being now, and not a fucking high schooler or a fucking... Really, just high schooler. Or is it, like, not unemployed at the moment? Anyways! But, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. Also, throughout the fight, I guess Clive is, like, a lot more dead serious, and, you know, Dante's the jokester, so playing into that was the dancer and whatnot. Anyways, debate. I'm gonna be jumping in and out of this tab to read that, because, yeah, my memory is very loosey on that. And, also, lore scaling. I might as well talk about that now, because Dante's one of those fuckers that, a lot of the big shit comes from lore, you know, like Kratos. But I don't think I think I did delve a lot more into it with Kratos vs. Astra, because I kind of had to there. This time, I don't really think I do. Because, like, you still got people who go, like, yeah, lore scaling's bullshit, and you use it, you're a fucking idiot! And I just don't give a fuck, man. The lore's fine. I just go with the fucking lore scaling. Like, I definitely don't think Dante is as big of an offender as like, fucking, you know, Kratos is. Or at least people throwing a hissy fit over it so much. Like, there's some, but it's not as bad. It doesn't help, like, a couple years ago, there was a big scandal with a bunch of fake scans for Devil May Cry. But thankfully, there has been a G1 blog that I could pull reference from that came out, I think, in January this year, of Virgil versus Galactonite, I'm pretty sure. So, pulling reference there for these Devil May Cry stats, so no one can cry that these are fake scans, because this is post the fake scan fiasco that happened. Anyway, but, like, they're gonna use the lore scaling, and in my opinion, the lore scaling is fine. I don't really see an issue with it. I guess, again, not as big of a fucking argument as it was with, like, Kratos Asura, but they're gonna use the lore scaling, so, like, why not? They used it with Chosen Undead Dragonborn. They used it with Kratos. No reason they wouldn't use it here. Like, being for real. I don't know why the lore scaling is such a big issue. I don't know why people were so surprised, like, they went with the lore scaling with Kratos when, like, Chosen Undead vs. Dragonborn happened, like, in terms of that episode starting production, a year ago. It's not that big of a surprise. But yeah, lore scaling they'll probably use, and I'm probably going to more so touch upon the lore scaling than, like, the middling stats for, Dante. If you don't like it, then, I'm not sorry. But, let's see here. So, from what I could tell, they come from, like, the first two big bosses of the Devil May Cry series, from, like, DMC 1 and 2, regarding, like, the high-end shit. But, DMC 1, Mundus, DMC 2, Argosax. when this is like pretty early in Dante's story, not like Devil May Cry 5 Dante. So, but let's see. Mundus has turned Earth into a second demon realm in the past before Sparta intervened. Argosax's ritual was causing an eclipse to passively happen. Both of these got to planet, and then the Argus one got specifically calculated to 65 zetatons. Pretty good cosmic shit. Now let's go into the uni stuff. Mundus created a universe/space to prepare for his fight with Dante. Void Mundus's death was implied to collapse a parallel universe where the human and demon world had merged after Dante defeated him. Mundus already planned to do that. Argosax was going to merge the demon and human world together. And then DMC. Okay. And DMC cosmology. TLDR, from what I gathered, the demon realm and Earth was like one universe together until getting split. So they're both like one half of a universe. So yeah, merge them together. Universal. Yeah, that's the cosmology they came with. I didn't research DMC. I'm just going with their word. Since they did research Devil May Cry. So, yeah, Universal for Dante. And, yeah, we'll talk about speed too. Dante reacted to and blocked lasers in DMC free, which got 6.3 C. And Dante also flew in the universe/space Mundus created, shown flying past multiple stars, got 9.8 million C. And the speed of the creation of that universe, space Singamabob, got 586 quad C. So, uni and million or quad C. Pretty good for Dante. Clive, if anyone who is more familiar with, you know, Final Fantasy 16 stats would like to correct me on any of these things, be my guest. Anyways, let's look at that now. So, Clive, let's see, so, pulling reference from the Fred here, there was a clip of Titan busting through a mountain. It was estimated to be mountain level. And there was a statement that Bahamut would burn the world being, and that got to, like, continent. And then the Ultima guy, you know, big bad, he created a realm with stars and nebulas in the background. The people in the Fred was saying this would be multi-solar system. I think with, like, the similar logic of, you know, Mundus creating the, excuse me, with Mundus creating that, universe space thing, you could probably argue both in a similar range, and argue both, like, okay, yeah, these are uni. So, let me see, is there anything else, or is that just it? Yeah, no, that was it. That was it I had written down. I didn't really think I had... Did I have anything written down for speed? I had to have. Okay, here we go. Yes. Okay, so, like, I didn't really get a clear-cut speed thing for Clive. But in the thread, I was seeing people say he would be, like, Rella to FTL. Clive was Ifrit's Phoenix. Okay, so, like... With Ifrit's Phoenix and Bahamut's power dodging a beam from Ultima, Clive creating a firewall at the last moment to block Bahamut's light, Joshua reacting to light and firing from a few feet away from him. Okay, there was actually one with a cow. Clive dodged some attacks from Ultima, got 56C. So, this one's probably the case where, yeah, there's probably going to be something way higher for speed for Clive found. Again, this is what I got from, like, looking for a Fred for, like, if anything that was getting, like, FTL. I've seen some people say he gets massively faster than light. Haven't seen anything for it yet, though, so, I don't know. There could very well be something. I am fully expecting it to be something better than the 56C. But, yeah, we're looking at, multi-solar system, the uni, and, multi-solar system could potentially also be uni. And 56C, where Dante we're looking at Universal, and 9 million C, or like over 500 quad C. So yeah, stats are kind of going in Dante's favor, if not just I should mention this now. Dante should probably massively upscale from the 2 uni feats because, like I said, these were from Devil May Cry 1 and 2. Current Dante should that was a young Dante compared to now. Current Dante should definitely be like way stronger than that. So chances are stats probably will go to Dante. Though I should probably also mention this. I've been seeing some people say Clive can get multi plus. But with everything I was seeing, the arguments for multi-plus was via Dissidia, and, you know, that shit in that getting multi. But there's a problem there, and it was that Clive was not in Dissidia until post this episode's announcement. And Dissidia is a crossover with all the other Final Fantasy guys. I don't know. I don't really think Death Battle might use that, because it's a big-ass crossover. So I don't really think they would probably use it. I don't know. Like, during the, like, I think but like, I want to say a couple days or so after this episode got announced, I think I heard it was announced that Clive was now in Dissidia. But, if this is true or not, I really don't think they're going to use it. Because, like, yeah, that's a big-ass crossover thing. And it's probably very dissatisfying if Clive won with a fucking crossover that probably isn't even canon to Final Fantasy 16's story to begin with. So, I don't really think they're going to use it. So, I think chances are Clive should just... Or, not Clive. Dante probably should just take stats. Speed, there might be something there. I don't know. And who knows, maybe there might be a better uni thing or something universal that can get higher for Clive that might be found between now and, you know, the episode releasing. I can't really say. So I think stats going to Dante is, for now, that could easily change as, you know, this waiting period goes on and more stuff is found for these two. But, also stats and Arsenal, or not stats, Arsenal and shit, I think that just probably will go to, I think for, like, a sheer quantity of shit they can do, probably going to Clive, because from what I could tell, he has a longer laundry list of abilities than Dante that he could pull from. But when it comes to the quality... So, like, you know, there's a time stop on Dante's end. I don't think I've heard anything for Clive that could counter it. I've heard some people say he has his own form of time stop. I wasn't seeing it. Let me see if, like, the Death Battle wiki might maybe added it. They might have. I'm just skimming it so I don't notice, but... I'm taking a bit of time to look through it, just to be sure. But... Oh, maybe Sifts? Okay, this might be at Rift Slip. It's looking more like a time slowdown, so I guess kind of like Quicksilver. But considering Dante's faster, I think it most likely will be staying faster. I don't think it'll overall matter. But, you know, shit like Doppelganger is also kind of a big, very useful thing. Yeah, I don't really have much more to add to that. I'm sorry. This one's all over the place. I apologize. But, yeah, from where I'm standing right now, it seems like Clive definitely has, like, a vastly larger arsenal. But Dante's is probably overall better and going to be more helpful throughout this. I don't know, that's just me. It might just mostly be just who has the better overall stats. Where currently, I am leaning Dante for this. Just generally speaking... should just take Stat Trinity, at least right now. Speed's just way in his favor, unless something better is found for Clive. And AP, you could argue them as roughly equal, but Dante would most likely upscale from, like, what is making them equal. So, yeah, that's kind of my bet is currently on Dante right now. This might change, of course, because, you know, more stuff for Clive might be found out. I don't know. But, yeah, right now my bet's on Dante. I'm also rooting for Dante because, like, I'm actually familiar with him in comparison to Clive. So, like, yeah, I am rooting for Clive here. Also, this waiting period's kind of been very forgettable so far. I want to talk about this again during my, my reaction video, because, you know, yeah, I'm going to talk about them. I always do that before the episode starts. But, yeah, this waiting period has just been nothing. I think it hasn't been like, oh, I've seen a whole lot of people check out these franchises. Like how I did see that with, like, Ruby versus Maka and Kyle Rayner with Simone the Digger. Where I saw so many people, like, start getting, like, Soul Eater, Ruby, and Gurren Lagann. This one, it's just been nothing. And that might also be because of the Champions Island going on right now. And the fact that no one really knows a lot about Clive. I don't know. But, also, like, I saw a lot of people get more into Buffy during that waiting period. And, yeah, it hasn't really felt like the same thing here with Clive. I don't know. That might just be me not paying attention to that, because I've been busy with work and Pokemon ZA, so, eh. But, I'm excited for the episode. I do hope it's good. My excitement really is kind of just for, like, animation and the score, not really for, like, the matchup itself. I might as well talk about this now. I don't know if Torian will be, like, a mainstay animator again after this one. Or if it's just going to be, like, they're just going to really only be able to do it for this episode. I would love to see Torian and, like, all these other animators be mainstays and come back more frequently. Because Devil Artemis, he has, like, one more episode, and then he's going to take a 1 to 2 year break from the show, which I don't blame him for doing that. Especially after, like, the recent episodes and how people have been very dickish to him because they don't live up to their expectations. He is just one guy. Cut him some fucking slack, please. But, I would like if they became mainstay animators, or at least, like, were pretty frequent when it came to 3D. Or at least, like, I don't know how to word this without saying, like, yeah, have them on every episode again, but I would like if they do return, like, more often, and it's just not a one-time thing with this. Because, like, I love their animations. Like, Torian, like, everyone loves Torian. Everyone loves his work from the old episodes, and we watched them last year. A lot of them hold up really well. Like, model quality, obviously, might not, but, like, the general action and cinematography, a lot of it still is pretty good. Especially, like, the action. So, I would like for them to, like, still stick around on the show, especially with, like, a more modern Death Battle budget, or at least general quality. So, hopefully this won't be, like, only one-time thing with them. I really hope so. And as for guesses on what the next time will be, I'm kind of working with 3 different possibilities. One is they really take advantage of the fact that, excuse me, they can have an episode release in December. Oh, fuck, excuse me. Have an episode that released in December and not really have to have it be a finale and do, like, Grinch vs. Jack or, like, some Christmas episode. Most likely Grinch Jack. I think that would be neat because every episode this year, most of them I do believe were originally planned to be in season 11, but we've had some that were definitely not originally planned there. Like, I don't think Spider-Man vs. Deku is probably on that list. I don't really think Master Chief vs. Doomslayer or Blade vs. Buffy were originally on that list. I especially don't think Dante vs. Clive was on that list. Like, I think all of those ones were ones that were just not originally planned for Season 11, but they end up doing because, like, they just wanted to do that now, and they can. So chances are that could also be the possibility, and, you know, Grinch Jack happens. And it feels weird saying this, but it could very well be a hand-drawn episode. And, we haven't had one since Wily Tom. It's so weird, it's so weird saying that, too, because, like, hand-drawns were, like, maybe once a year, and then suddenly just, boom, we got a lot now, and it's very jarring to say and hear. But that could be a possibility. There is also, like, Aang versus Traveler. I know everyone has been predicting that as the next time, along with Hulkzilla, for a while now. But Aang Traveler, I could also maybe see. Like I said earlier, Devil Artemis, he has like one more episode before taking like a year or two break. I wouldn't be surprised if that last episode might be this year. And I feel like that will probably be Aang Traveler. I might have said it before, but back like a couple years ago, he made like a list of characters he would like to animate for Death Battle. Aang was one of them, so I could see it being Aang Traveler. And then the other one, which I think is sadly the most likely, is Ash vs. Yugi. Now, end the year off on a bang. I don't like the matchup. I made that clear. I could see that being the case. I feel like it's either going to be the next time or the first episode in 26. I hate both possibilities. Best case scenario, it's just somewhere smack dab in the middle of like of 2026. And it'll be surrounded by way better matchups and episodes. But those are the big three, I'm guessing. Or they might throw a fucking curveball at us and Screw vs. Megamind. I don't know. Or Sans Judge. I'll be so happy with Sans. That'd be funny, weird as hell placement, considering, like, October would make more sense. But I will not complain if Sans Judge is next. That would be awesome. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much more to really say here. I don't know how long. It's been like 36 minutes, I guess. I'm finding out. I could look in the corner and see how long I've been recording. But, yeah, I don't know. I hope the episode's good. I'm pretty excited for it. This year has really just been like a lot of bangers. Like the worst episode really has just been like a 6 out of 10 for me. And that's a hot take too. Being Bao's Egg, like, it's not even like a bad episode. I think it's just okay. That's not a bad saying. It's just being an okay episode. So, I'm excited for this. Like, it's like the worst we've had in Indie Death Battle has just been okay. So, like, I'm sure this will be a good episode. And I hope to God there's like a bunch of flips. I hope we have another like fucking flip that starts as a forward flip and then changes to a backward flip, like some Deadpool Deathstroke type bullshit. That would be so funny. But I'm excited for this. I do hope the episode is good. Yeah, I don't have much more to add to this. I talked a lot more than I expected. I always do. But hopefully this also turns out really well, given that I'm recording with something different now. I might actually, maybe at some point, I'll go out of my way and buy a webcam. I don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of money. I could probably find a good $10 one, though, but whatever. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. And, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. So, peace!